How's it going, everyone? Tonight I have a quick little install video for you. So basically what we're going to be taking a look at is the 4-point docking hardware kit from Harley Davidson. You can get these in chrome or black, I believe. I went with chrome. And along with the docking hardware, we're also going to be taking a look at a brand new Sissy Bar and of course a brand new studded backrest to match my studded saddle. So let's take a look at the kit. With the kit, you're going to get these two brackets. You're going to get 4 mounting screws for the brackets and then 4 washers to go with the screws. That's how they're going to go in when you do it. So I've already set them up for you. So now we're going to look at these pieces right here. So you got washers, you got spacers, you got the docking piece itself, and then you got a screw that's going to hold it all together. These are obviously going to be for the front, and these are going to be for the rear. The rear do not have spacers, so that's how they're going to go on. One thing I will mention is that these pieces are more oblong than circular, so make sure you have them in the right position or else they aren't going to work. So tools you're going to need, nothing more than a screwdriver or a socket. You're going to need a T30, a T40, and a 5/32, I believe, for the Sissy Bar in backrest. So let's go ahead and get started. Try to keep this video as short, clean, and quick as I can. Alright, so step 1 on this is going to be removing your saddlebags so that you can get to the actual hardware. I already did this one. The newer saddlebags are super easy to do. All you gotta do is turn these around until they're nice and loose, which they're super easy to do. Make sure that while you're doing this, do not drop your saddlebag onto the floor because you'll ding it up. I've almost done that before, so go ahead, pull these out. I'm going to go ahead and close the lid, and then you are ready to take off your Harley Davidson saddlebag from your motorcycle. So that's step 1. Alright, so the next step in this video is going to be removing the spacers from the rear of the bike. You can find those right here, and you could pretty much use your finger and just pull these out. They're just plastic rubber spacers to go in place of a docking hardware kit. So go ahead and pull these out. So now we're ready to move on to the next step. So step number 3 is basically going to be inserting the hardware kit into the spot where we just removed those 2 little black strips. And so the way that you're going to do this is you're going to take one of your brackets and you're going to set them down right inside, just like that. You're going to want this big one up front, this little one in the rear. Alright? So we'll go ahead, take the next one, and we're going to do the same thing on this side. Slide it right in. These 2 holes on the side there are where your screws are going to go. So we'll leave that right there, and we'll go ahead and go do our screws. Alright, so I guess step 4 of this is just basically going to be putting the screws into the actual mounting positions. You got your bracket in place. So next what you're going to want to do is actually take a bit of Loctite, and you're going to want thread locker for this because it's a Harley. It's going to rattle, it's going to shake, it's going to work its way out over time eventually. So take your screw, take a little bit of Loctite. 2 or 3 drops is really all you need for this. So go ahead and do that. Then we'll go ahead and get that lined up. And we'll go ahead and get that all screwed in. Okay. Same thing with the other screw. Just a little bit of Loctite, don't need too much on there. You can use red or blue, whichever you want. I choose to use blue just because I don't need anything that's super strength. Okay. All right, now that you got those snugged up, go ahead and tighten it down. All right, so the next step in this video is going to be, of course, the spacers, washers, and of course the docking pieces itself. Like I said in the beginning of the video, what you're going to do is you're going to want washer first, and then docking piece on the rear. And then up here, it's going to go washer, and then your spacer, and then your actual docking piece. You're going to want to have this one at about that angle on the bike, 12 or 1 o'clock position on the bike. If you're going to be doing a Sissy Bar, I've already kind of put my Sissy Bar on here and made sure it was going to fit right there before I tightened it down. So I know that spot is good to go. So we're going to go ahead and put the screws into these two now. Alright, time for the screws. As always, add a little bit of thread locker to them. Not too much, just a drop or two. That's a little much, but that's okay. It's fine, no big deal. We'll go ahead, screw it in. Like I say, I have already put my Sissy Bar on here to make sure it was going to work, but you can adjust them later if you need to. Okay, go ahead and tighten that down. First one's in, go ahead and do your second one. Second one you'll want, I believe, at about the 9 o'clock position. But like I say, if you're not going to be mounting a rear luggage rack right away, it's not that big of a deal. Just make sure that your spacers are right when you go to do it. Alrighty, so that ought to do it for this side. Alright, so we're on the other side now. So just like the other side, do your washer first, just like that. Then your docking piece. There's a little notch right there in front of my thumb. 12 o'clock position. And then of course, I've already got Loctite on this screw. Go ahead and if I can even get it started, my goodness. Of course, it'd help if I was going the right way. Alright, go ahead and tighten that down. Piece is going to move just a little bit, but that's fine. So when it turns, it'll be ready to lock in from that side. Next piece, of course, is your front there. So washer first, then your spacer, and then your docking piece. Again, 1 o'clock position on this one too. Just dropping everything over here. And of course, dab a Loctite on your screw so it don't work loose. Go ahead and place that in there. Just like that. Now we're ready to tighten it up. All right, so that ought to do it for the brackets themselves and the docking hardware. We are now ready to go ahead and move on to the Sissy Bar itself. Alright, so the very last step to this is actually going to be getting the Sissy Bar attached to the backrest, and it's not too hard to do. So basically, with your Sissy Bar kit and everything, whichever one of these it came with, you're going to have screws and you're going to have spacers. So these spacers are going to go right into the hole. You may have to cut a little bit of this away, but it should fit down just like so. And you'll go ahead and do that with all of these. Like I say, it should just, everything should just fit nice and neat. All right. So once you got that done, the next step is for the actual support piece itself, which is going to be this. And basically what we're going to do, we're going to set the screws down in here. Going to get the backrest right where we want it. Get the screws all to align right into the hole. This is going to come down like that. Alrighty, so we pretty much have it nice and stable right there. So I'm just going to leave that screw right there. I am going to add just a tiny bit of thread locker to these. Not like it's absolutely necessary, but just to really make sure it don't go nowhere. It just never hurts to do so. We're going to go ahead and snug that one up just a bit. Not all the way, but just enough to where we can do the rest. Tad bit on that one. All right. And pull that one out. Do a bit of thread locker in that one. All right. All right. So once you get that far, just make sure that everything is right where you want it. I'm thinking, oh, I think about right there. Like I say, you can always come back and adjust these if you don't like it. I'm just trying to get it perfect because I'm a perfectionist. Alrighty, we should be good to tighten them down. Alrighty, pick this up. I don't know, that looks pretty dang good to me. I wouldn't complain about that. So, whoops. Next thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and get it put on the bike. Alright, so this next part's going to be the easiest part of the video, and that is just mounting the backrest onto your motorcycle. So you got these nice little prongs right here, and they're going to go right down in here. Alright, so right here where my hand is, that's where they're going to mount onto. So go ahead and set that right down onto there. Okay, now if you've done these right, it should just slip right on. Make sure that these are aligned, that way it can slide on there. Give these a little push, they're going to click and lock just like that, and they're going to be good to go. Rock solid, can't move them. So then to take them off, there's two pieces right back here. You push it on these tabs just like so, then you push forward on these pieces with your thumb, and then it lifts right up, and it's that easy. So that's what that is right there. Pretty easy, nothing to it. So I just got the saddlebags put back onto the motorcycle. That backrest is looking pretty mean. Nice and sturdy. It shouldn't go anywhere, shouldn't vibrate free. A little bit of Loctite on all the screws. Then of course the hardware is all done up nice. And of course, nice thing about these quick detach Sissy bars is that you can just push up, then push forward, and it'll detach. But when you go to rock it back, it'll just automatically lock into place if you've done it right. A little expensive. You can get aftermarket ones, but I would rather just go with the Harley ones because they will fit perfectly. Go ahead and get a nice full shot of the motorcycle. Oh yeah, she's a looker. She's absolutely beautiful. Well, I think that'll do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys found this informative. I tried to keep it as short as I could, but I also wanted to explain everything, so hopefully it all works out. Hopefully it helps you guys on your motorcycles when you go to do this. You folks have a good rest of your evening, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.